comes to the kids going back to school. But we've also got a complete failure by the federal government and the state Liberal government in Tasmania when it comes to our state's infrastructure. We've had a range of questions in estimates on Monday about the Hobart City Deal. And it's just extraordinary, Deputy Speaker. We had $25 million promised for a rail corridor and for a study into a rail corridor. And it turns out that the state government have been sitting on a report that says this corridor is not viable, but hadn't told anybody. And indeed, only $2 million of the $25 million has actually been spent. This Hobart City Deal, was a big signing. It was touted, the usual pictures, all announcement, no delivery, hundreds of $millions allegedly coming to Hobart. So far, we've had $2 million spent. We had $300 million set aside for a runway on the Antarctic territory, long way from the city of Hobart, Deputy Speaker, but apparently that was included, which they had to abandon, of course, and the Minister for Environment has said that that's not going to proceed. So we don't know what's happening to that $300 million that was earmarked for the runway down on the Antarctic, but I really hope it's actually coming to Greater Hobart, Deputy Speaker. But who knows where that $300 million is or has gone or what's happening to it. And then, of course, we've got the Bridgewater Bridge, which has been promised now, I don't know, more times than I can count, Deputy Speaker. We still don't even have a final design. Nothing's happened. It's been years. Nothing's happened. It's just extraordinary that the governments get away with this. They come down, they talk hundreds of $millions, this great deal, and absolutely zip. Absolutely zip. Complete failures to deliver at both the state and the federal level. Indeed, the only thing happening in my electorate, Deputy Speaker, is the removal of the Hobart Airport roundabout, which is a project at that interchange there to allow traffic to go further southeast into the member for Lyons of the electorate past the airport. And of course, that project was actually first announced by Labor. It was an election commitment that we made back in 2013. And if Labor hadn't made that commitment, nothing would have happened, Deputy Speaker. The government certainly wasn't going to. And it had to make a commitment. It was for lesser money. The design is terrible and won't last the test of time because the commitment was not enough, unlike Labor's commitment at the time. But this is the only project that has happened in my electorate under 9 years of this government. The only one. The only one. All of the other projects that have occurred in my electorate under the former Labor government that we got committed and were in the budget when Labor left office. Seriously, what has been happening with infrastructure in Tasmania is a complete disgrace under this government, and my constituents have had enough of it, Deputy.